white coat, daggers of steel. She lies under porcelain. Every scar a quiet hymn to the house that used to stand. I tracked them through winter rain, through red snow and broken doors. Not just killers, every name, every cousin, every lord. White mask, teal eyes, can you forgive what I became? I buried them and burned the sky, and their faces saw my name. I avenged my blood.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Elden Ring Tuesday night. I thought yesterday was Tuesday, so I'm gonna have to fix the thumbnail from yesterday's stream. Well, it's Tuesday for real this time. Thank goodness. And it being Tuesday, like I said, I have a new question of the week, brought to you by a Discord member, a content creator that we all know. Well, most of us do. Annie Nickapoo. She suggested this question of the week, and I thought it was pretty good because it does bring up some conversation. And it should make you think, maybe. It's a simple question. It is 4 words. 4 words that will change the world, change the way you think. And that question is, for the week, is who is Rani's teacher? Who is she? Who are they? Who is he? Who is Rani's teacher? That is the question. You can take it any way you like, answer it any context you wish. The question is simple, but the answer may not be. But we shall see. We shall learn. We shall discover on your own, with each other, perhaps, maybe. But it is what it is. Welcome back, boss. Welcome back, Rattle. It's good to see y'all here in the stream. It's a Tuesday. It's raining outside, perhaps, maybe. I haven't looked outside. There's supposed to be some rains coming through North Texas. So I may be called in to work. I may not, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get, right? We'll see how far we get. So let us hope. Let us hope that I don't get called in. All right. Let us continue with Elden Ring, the game that brings us together. Let us say hello to Veronica, Kenneth, Albedo, and Vanessa, and to the one and only Golden Inquisitor. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I think we were trying to get to Godwin. We're trying to get to Godwin. Man, this game looks good sometimes. I won't lie. Look at these lights. Look at the lights. Sometimes I feel like I want to turn on, what is that setting that craps out all the time? Ray tracing. Sometimes I want to turn on ray tracing, but this game looks too good for ray tracing. All right, so to get to The fastest way to get to what's his face, Godwin, is that we're gonna go down into the depths. We're gonna go into the sewers, complete the sewers as fast as we can, and get to Godwin. Because the point of getting to Godwin now is to help with a lore theory of mine that probably won't ever become a video because there's not that much to become a video. But I believe that the body of Godwin that we see down there is no body at all. No body, no buddy. It is simply a statue. So we need to get into the depths. Into the depths. Man, this game looks too good. Too good to be good. Everybody, while we're going through here, let me make some announcements and some shout outs to some friends because they deserve it. And to everybody that watches in the future, let me say thank you now for watching. Thank you, everybody who's watching live now or later or watches again. I appreciate it. But if you made it this far, I would like for you to stop by Sirius Moonlight's channel. He's a good guy. He's coming out with new content a lot lately, which is good. And not Godwin, not the content creator, not Godwin. He has new content too coming out eventually, sometime maybe. But his channel is really great, so stop by there and check it out. Annie Nikapu, check her out. She's got some good content. Let's see who else. Spiral Unity, also a streamer. Check him out. He's a good guy, very smart, intelligent, kind, funny. Now let's see who else. Oh, you gotta stop by and see the person who started it all, who inspired me to create my first lore video. Not my first stream, but the first lore video. Jack is a mimic. Check him out. He's awesome. Should I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody. Who am I missing anybody? Oh, Jackal Khan on YouTube and Sunstorm Jackal on Twitch. The guy is a hoot. Can you say hoot? He uses voices. I've seen him use voices. He's hilarious. Yep. Who else? Is there anybody I'm missing? If I'm missing you, I do apologize. Let's see. Am I going the right way? Oh, I do not know. Yes, I am. Why does this game look so good? Oh, no. Ooh, yes. Made it. The Lindell, the sewers, where they put the omen, the tragic fate for tragically cursed children. Yes, children. Did they deserve it? I don't know. That's a good question. Wow. I didn't know I had that on there. Looks pretty cool. Looks really good. Oh, you know what? Let me turn off the light and get into the mood. This game is really dark right now. It is dark. No way. Here, when I open this, we'll talk about this statue real quick. you see these two omens here, right? They're sitting here and they're praying, la la la, praying to the statue, which at one time I didn't believe that the statue was a representation of Queen America, but now I do believe it is, or perhaps. Well, should I say it? I'll say it. Perhaps tis the Gek, because if you believe it's Queen America, then you have to believe that these two omen here, who are shunned by the Golden Order, by the Erd Tree, have given up their hate, their resentment towards the Golden Order and the Erd Tree and Queen America. But unless you believe that they haven't, then this person can and probably is the Glowmite Queen. Because if you get shunned and turned away by one set of religion or religious leaders and stuff like that, why would you? The chances of you turning back to them for prayer or less forgiveness or safety is very low. You would go to their rival most likely, or just throw off completely religion, which these two did not. So you can safely assume, in my golden opinion, that this woman is the Glowmite Queen. Is there any proof? No. Only the little bit of logic that I applied there. Where is Godwin? We're getting there. We're almost there. Ooh. Wait a minute. There we go. Wait, you think I'll be able to sneak around him? Let's try it. Oh, dang. Sneaky, sneaky. Now, if you disagree with my hypotheses, as Mr. Saucer would say, don't be afraid to leave a comment in the notes, because I will read them. And I will debate you to the end of days. To the end. Little rat ninjas, that's what they are. Oh no. At least I got the shortcut. At least I did. But we're getting a Godwin. That's the goal. Godwin, Godwin, Godwin. Shortcut unlocked. I wonder. Well, I'm gonna try to get past these guys without killing any one of them, because I'm a pacifist. Not really. Oh no. All right, one more time. And if I don't make it this time, I'm going to kill every single last one of them out of revenge. Oh, let's see. Rattle says, oh, boss says Nostal. Rattle says He's Rykard and Morty's voice on. Oh, he's talking about Rattle. Let's see. Mick Mike says, I think it might that might assume a little too much tolerance for religious practices, even among the downtrodden and outcast. Plus, there's something very from about self-loathing. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Said Mick Mike. Welcome back, by the way. He also continues, if the Omen truly thought themselves unjustly exiled, I could see them rebelling religiously and worshiping a rival deity, but that usually explicit when it happens. See EGEEMOHG. Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And what you're saying makes sense. But if the omens see that the source of their dilemma, of their plight, is America, why not go to her rival, the Glowmite Queen? You know what I'm saying? That's all. It's that simple for me. Rattle says, I'll never enjoy parkour in this game. Never. I love the parkour. I love this game. I love everything about this game. I thought I heard a call from work. That's why I stuttered. It's cool that the flame gives off some light, but it doesn't give off too much light. I wish it gave off more. Here we go. No, 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 no. We want to go. Wait. Yeah, we want to go this way. Don't get distracted by the bugs. Am I going up? No, I am going up. When I want to go this way. Well, shit. All right. Big Mike says, I hear you. I'm not ruling that out at all. No, I understand my bro ham. I understand. When do we think omens stop being born? If they stop being born at all? No, I don't think they stop being born. But remember, the lands between stop procreating. The lands between, not the rest of the world, but the lands between. The uh, the humans, I believe, did. Because if the ancient or the 1.0 turtleneck meat says that there was no more use for turtleneck meat because it raised virility or arousal or something like that, and since nobody dies anymore, there's no biological need for procreation. Rattle says, could it be after the amber egg was left to Renala? Maybe. But I believe it may have been when the religion started saying that the Erdtree would reincarnate you. Wait, did I get? I did a full circle. Jesus, I need to remember to go down, 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 down. Nope, we're going down. We gotta go down. Or am I getting lost in the? Am I getting lost in the sauce? I am. Dang. All right, so this is the perfect time for rainbow stones. All right, we've if we come across this, we know we came from there. We know we came from here. We're going this way. All right, we are. That's a dead end. We find ourselves here. We know we came through here. Oh shit! Come on, guy. What are you doing down here? What was he doing? Was he hunting? Was he eating bones? No. What was he doing? He was lost on here searching for. Was he searching? What was he searching for? He was searching. Oh, you know what? I bet you he was searching for the chapel where Moog is. All right, so that way. All right, we're gonna go through this gate. All right. He's lore hunting. He is. He's trying to figure out what the hell happened. Now, do you think the Omen children were cannibalizing each other? We're gonna go down. And we're going down again. We'll open this door. They're all down here looking for the way down. They're lost. Lost like I am. Oh, here we go. We found the way. What I always find interesting is how deep things go. You know, like everything's brickwork. So they dug all this out and then laid brick all the way up. All the way up. And what's and another thing that's strange, anybody that knows anything about sewer, this shit would probably be on fire or unbreathable and stink. And yet, in the sewers and the muck, they made a church for the Omen, which is highly unusual in my opinion. Highly. Let's use this guy. We'll see how good he does. I don't think I've ever used him. This smithing stone. Another person is this. Oh, I was having a discussion with Rattle about death, and not death in real world, but death in Elden Ring. And he convinced me, or I don't know, maybe we convinced each other. No, wait. I convinced myself, I think, or we convinced ourselves. One of the statements is correct. That death is an outer god. And this, now that I'm here, I believe this person could represent that outer god. Look, there's that staff. There's that staff. We see that staff on a withered staff like this. Ooh, he's like completely hollow on the inside. Interesting thing. Uh, on the stone coffins in the Shadowlands. Sup, Luna Chris? HRU, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, Luna. I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just trying to get to Godwin to discuss some lore and discussing lore on the way down there. Or a host or envoy, Lord Champion of the Death. Maybe, perhaps. That person out there, the statue, probably could. Boss also says, he continues. Oh, no, that was Rattle that said that. But Boss adds in, and the roots coming out of the statue as well. Oh, are there roots? That were, oh, there sure is. Dang, there are roots. Oh, shit. Could this be Elden John? No. Look, he doesn't have any teeth. He's like gumming it for some reason. Interesting. Luna says, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Luna. Rattle says, on the side of the base of on the side of the base is a death root carving also found in FIL. I believe the host, perhaps Godwin, once lived in FIL in the tree before the Halik. Dead Elden John, says Boss. A death root. A death root. He says there's a death root carving also. I don't see a death root carving. Maybe on the backside? I don't know about no death root carving. Unless you think that right there represents a death root carving. Oh, not these base. Oh, I get you. I get you. Okay then. Okay then. Well, it makes sense then. Ye old bum. Ouch. Oh. Oh. Well, shit. All right then. I- I'll be more prepared next time. Luna says, "Are you enjoying playing this? I've heard about it." Luna asks, "Are you enjoying playing this? I've heard about it, but never played it myself." Luna, I simply adore this game. I love it. I love it so much that I've spent 3,000 hours in it. I've made an Elden Ring channel on YouTube about it, and I started streaming because of it, and making lore videos because of it. I even went as far as got a couple of tattoos of it. The game is so engrossing and inspiring and mysterious. It's sublime. And I would recommend it to anybody who loves video games, who loves a mystery and a challenge. Hey, yo, Pharaohs, welcome back. Boss says, Mo Lester from the files. I'm telling you, all right, I get him this time. I get him this time. All right, let's see. We're gonna get the goon squad on him just because for old time's sake. Because why not? You got to have the goon squad. Let's see. I'm sure there's fire resistance somewhere. We'll just do that. All right, here we go. Goon Squad. The Goon Squad is my favorite. Most underrated. Goon Squad. Go for it. Go, little buddies. Oh, shit. I need to get out of that. I need to get out of that. Goon Squad, no. Don't stand in the fire. Oh, wait. This is new game +4. He's going to be a little bit harder than normal. Can I save? Nope, I didn't save him. Oh, well. At least Goon Squad, they tried. Oh, wait. I need to target him, don't I? Ouch. Oh. Luna says, all right, I'll try. I'm going to try soon. You should. You won't regret it. You'll never turn back. By the way, I just finished God of War Ragnarok. I've never played it. Was it good? Let's not get the Goon Squad for this one. They seem to hurt themselves a little bit too much. You know what? Let's do this. Let's not do the Stormhawk. I have a feeling it'll just get beat up. You know what? Let's do Firelight Queeling. Because Godwin's right on the other side of this fight. Luna says Ragnarok was really fun. I hear it is. I hear it is. Stop throwing your blood at me. Oh. Did it go through him? Eeh. Dodge that shit, Quailing. When the moon hits her, I like a big pizza pie. That's Moog the Omen. He did. Oh man, I should have used the talisman. Dang, I could. That's why the Goon Squad die. May they forgive me in their death. Nice. Secret level. I bought Zonod. Welcome back, Zonod. I bought God of War Ragnarok. He says, and when I watched the entire playthrough on YouTube and wasn't to play it. Interesting. Oh, and didn't want to play it. He says, "Dang." You can ask me anything, Luna. Anything you want. I shall have you an answer. Perhaps one you may like. Most likely one you shall not. The tragic lives of these guys. I'll wait right here for Luna to ask me a question. Or was she going to ask Zanat a question? She may be gone. Oh, no, she's not. Luna says, I do custom designs for streamers, like logos, panels, and overlays. Animated alerts, emotes, VTuber, etc. Would you like to see my portfolio? No pressure at all. No, thank you. I am so broke and out of money. 'Tis the way it is. But I wish you good luck on all your endeavors. All right, let's see. I made nope, I missed. I missed. I missed. This is probably the hardest part of this entire game. 3,000 hours in, and I still struggle. The parkour here is so buns. Like Final Fantasy 14 buns, like the bun girls. If that means good, I agree. All right, let's see. We're going to go this way. I made it. And then we roll. And then we're going to jump. We're going to make it there. One more, ladies and gentlemen. One more. I can do it. We roll, get the thing, and we go. Ba-da, dun, dun, dun. The crowd goes wild. Zanad says, I agree. It takes so many tries, and I hate performing. Yes. Platforming. Sorry, he said platforming. Boop. We're going to pick this up. I think this is something good. Not really. Once again. All right, here we go. Whee! And now we are so far deep in the earth. Rado says, I was stuck here forever my first time. Went through a whole podcast and hadn't gotten to the end. Dang. That's because you didn't listen to Inquisition Radio Live podcast, IRL, on YouTube. You need to listen to that next time you're playing Elden Ring. It'll get you through. I promise. We're also thinking about, having a nickname or maybe relabeling as Podwin. Podwin the podcast. One day we'll take a vote on it. We'll see what the viewers like. Ants, ants, ants everywhere. Ants. But I don't give it about no ants. Wait, am I going the right way? I think so. No, maybe no. Wait, no. I need to go this way. right? I'm lost. America, forgive me. Podwin the gold. Podwin the golden. There you go. Where is the grace? Here it is. Here is the grace, ladies and gentlemen. We've made it to the Forsaken Depths, Forsaken Hollows. Oh, Deep Root Depths. Rattle says law. Zanod says sometimes I wonder if we the ants are really big or if we are really small. Oh, let me correct this. Sometimes I wonder if the ants are really big or if we're really small. The ants are probably really big. Zanod says, I'm the king of typos. Yep. Not as much as me. You should see me in my Final Fantasy 14 days when I'd be trying to ERP. I'd be like, ooh, girl. But it would come out like, ew, girl. Ew. And I'm trying to say, ooh. Anyways. So here is should we ruin the dialogue or should I save this dialogue? Because she only says it once. She only says it once, and it's so important to. I'm not gonna use it up. I'm gonna save it for when I need to record it for a video. It is an amazing piece of dialogue. And here is all this white water. What does the white water represent? You know where else we have white water? The Church of Vows. White sand. You know what? Rattle says, I think it is whatever the. And he died at that moment and never was able to complete his thought. Tragic. Oh, sorry. He says, I think it is whatever the Nox are trying to filter out of the cities downstream. Interesting. Interesting. You know what I was thinking? And it just occurred to me. In my old man brain, that perhaps that water is mixed not with sand, but with ash from the first burning of the earth tree. What if all this water here is rinsing off the stones and the buildings that were present when the earth tree burned the first time? So it's kind of rinsing them off, and that's why the water is white. Just a thought. Could be wrong. Most likely. Probably not wrong. But maybe am. Maybe am. And maybe am. No, maybe I am. Most likely I'm not. Calistral says, question mark, question mark. Yo, she says, hello, Calistral, welcome back. Rattle says, because a lot of plants grow out of it, so it has nutrients. It does. It's if it has a lot of nitrates and oxygen, I would say the plants are loving it. Aha. Godwin. We are here. This is the epitome of all lore begins with Godwin. All timelines should start with the Knight of Black Knives, and then you build towards the present and into the ancient past. Boss says purple dead water. Ah, nice. Nice, boss. Red Dead Water 2. Red Dead Revolver. Um, Ruddle says, how are the potatoes and cheese curds today? What is he? Welcome back, Nostal. What is Godwin? Well, Godwin isn't here. This, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, Godwin isn't here. This is not Godwin. This is an effigy, a spiritual, a religious representation of Godwin, kind of like we see on the malformed dragon helm, like we see here, right? Like we discussed this yesterday. So yes, we see it here. We also see it, a representation of Godwin on the Banished Knight helm, which I believe the Banished Knights worked for Godwin in the beginning. And then the Death Knights were his special knights, like Mikla has his Needle Knights. Like the Erd Tree has its Erd Tree Sentinels. See, Godwin's special knights. You know what I mean? Like Godfrey has the Crucible Knights. Each like Melania has the Clean Rot Knights. So you have your standing army, and then you have your elite forces. They're your knights, right? So you have the Banished Knights, who some continued to become Death Knights, probably, or the Death Knights were separate. And then you have, but anyway, I digress. Let me get my thinking hat back on. Boop. All right. So if we continue here, and I'm breaking like a whole bunch of storylines here, which I can always start a new game. This thing we need the white torch. We'll put this away. That's right. It's not Godwin. Let's see. This Godwin is not Godwin. Thou tarnish Morgoth the Omen says. Morgoth the Omen. Welcome, Morgoth. Good to see you. Banished from where? Banished from where? Huh. Okay. Okay, where was I? Oh, explaining why this is an effigy and not the real Godwin. And I know if a month ago I said that Godwin, if this is the real Godwin, I'll restate that theory, that Godwin was already this monstrosity when he died. Right? So let me tell you another thought of mine. This is the latest one. Wait a minute. The hell? Who the? Some bitch. I mean, I ain't fucking around. If you see me with the Halo scythe, you're dead. This weapon is, look at it. It's overpowered. It's overpowered. Oh, they got me, man. Oh, there's a Rodon guy. I didn't even see him. Boss says laughs and retelling. No, you can't. You can't. You won't be able to block fast enough as the death comes for you. It is. It is truly a monstrosity. Fia Simps. Oh yeah, Fia Simps, big time. You know, the a large majority of the community is a Fia Simp. Well, that's a lie. I think Fia is probably everybody's well, at least top the later half of a top 10 list of waifus. So like 10 through 5. Two shots, okay. Is that Roger the liar? Oh man. Just want a hug? Rattle, go give a thug a hug. Fia, whatchamacallit? Boss says Fia is a stinking strumpet and chuckle is the most used thing since Bloodhound Step. The liar wins. The liar did win that time. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes liars do win. Why does Roger fight us? Because he's a liar. Because he's completely enthralled by Godwin and Fia, mainly probably Fia. Really, they right through it, huh? I've given you courtesy enough. Piece of shit. Traitor. Oh, death or death. Oh, blight, death blight. Yeah. I don't. Big boy. Is that somebody? Is that Letta? Man, I hope somebody fights my character in this stuff. They'll never win. No, I'm lying. I'm gonna use this. Is that working? Hell yeah. Roger's all right, says Pharaoh's. No, Roger's a liar. He's a two-bit, two-faced scumbag. Never accept him. Never put him into your hero's party because he will backstab you. Literally. All right, here we go. So now to continue on. He's good at pop, like soda pop or pop music. Oh, PvP. Oh, he is. He is. He did beat me that time. All right, so here we go. The statue that is the representation of Godwin, the Prince of Death. I know it's a statue. I know it's made of stone because you can see the stone, all of it. It's just stone. Even his tail, all stone. But does it bleed? No. It's stone. All of it's stone. It's not really him. See, his cloth is cloth, right? Because there's some sparks. But the stone is stone. All right. So the next question you're probably thinking is, where is Godwin's body? If Godwin is the Prince of Death and he is the Lord of Death or whatever, he is death, an empty vessel with no soul. His body is the key to death. Where is his body? Well, let me show you where it is. Hello, Godwin. It's good to see you again, finally. I see your brother encased you in a cocoon. I see your other half brother tried to revive you or use your body with his blood from his formless mother to make your body into a portal. So Mikla could travel to the shadow realm and that we all could use this now. Your corpse, your cadaver to get to the shadow realm. Shadow realm. Thank you for your service, Godwin. Because without you, I would never have met Letta. The beauty that she is. La la la.
Right. It's time to begin ferreting out those of us who don't deserve to be at kindly Mikula's side. The horn says, on one hand, he trusts me
Hey,
with the enchantment lifted.
boss doesn't agree,
Full passion.
which is okay. You don't have to agree.
The horn scent
You
doesn't
have the
matter.
right to be wrong, boss.
Turns are well founded.
That is your right as a lore enthusiast and content creator. That's your right. And I'm not going to take that away from you. And could I be wrong? Could I be wrong for believing that maybe. I could be wrong. Welcome back, Annie Nick Kapoo. You'd be stoned too if you were laid there for so long. Probably not. Bodies tend to wither away and turn really soft when they're in water. You know what I'm saying? Real soft and gooey. Kind of like overcooked, boiled ribs. Yeah. Rattle says you're high. Oh yeah, I know. I don't use drugs. I'm high on life. I'm high on theorizing. I'm high on facts. F-A-X. Facts. Nod says, yeah, I can buy this theory. Thank you, Nod. I mean, it's there. It's pretty solid. Killing Turtle Pope, and now this. I'm Rattle. The truth is stuff that you don't want to hear, that you're not going to agree with. Because the truth is not something that's nice. Pharaoh says, Letta is Godwin. Maybe. We'll see what's under that robe. Rattle says, Bach is Rada Godwin. Bach could be. Petrification in wood. Perhaps. But we don't see this in wood. But we know in bodies, like, right? If you ever found like a body in water, like, and I don't mean a human body, maybe an animal, right? If you live next to a stream or a lake, there's always a dead dog or a squirrel in the water. They're mushy, right? It's gross. like stone scales off an ancient dragon? Perhaps. But this isn't Dark Souls or Pharaohs. Zod says, I always imagine Godwin like Morgoth after we defeat him. Also, death is in this game, even the death of our souls isn't what it would seem. That is correct. I would agree with you. It's a tree, actually. What's a tree? Godwin's a tree? Could be. He could be turning into a tree, becoming one with the Erd tree, with the roots of a great tree. His shaman blood merging, melding, unlike anything we've seen before, unlike anything the world has seen before. This monstrosity melding with the prawns and the animals of the water. A fish takes a bite. A fish dies next to him. His body absorbs the fish. Remember, Godwin's body is also just a mindless being at this point. It's like a blob. Anything that dies around it probably gets absorbed, takes on characteristics. Hence why there's like those basilisks. I guess you could call them wings, web fingers, bugs, trees. His body's just absorbing everything, becoming this amalgamation of disgusting whatever a good word somebody with good vocabulary can fill it in, but I can't. Boss says dead bodies turn into trees, petrify into stone becomes ethereal spirit energy, then stones get bodies again. Boss. Interesting. Annie Nikapoo says Godwin's body is always part of the tree. Even when he was alive? Nossel says, part of the root system, I'd say. Well, I mean, if Godwin's body is, Godwin's body is part of the root system. So the body can now develop, appendages outside of this thing. That's how through the roots, he can make himself in the Shadowlands. He can make himself under Stonevale. He can make himself, where's another place that we find one of these cadavers, surrogate cadavers? Pretty much anywhere. Anywhere there's a high concentration of death, I believe he can make himself one of his faces or whatever. Because if the death root begins, right? If it begins and it starts off with just eyes on death root, eyes in the walls, eyes on a fish, eyes on a crab, and eventually it grows large enough, continues to grow without being disturbed, and it continues to grow and absorb, it'll turn into one of those surrogate cadavers. Your Pharaohs has a odd sense of beauty. He says, what a handsome fella. Interesting. I don't think so. Welcome back, Meta. And Inikabu says, I'm just saying may make his image on a petrified tree too. Perhaps. But I like the stone detail a lot. Thank you. Well, thank you. If you're talking about the stream. Anyways. So there you go. That is my theory. There it is. And oh man. Wait, I never did Fia's quest, so I think it's over. So we won't go see Lich Dragon Fortisax this round. You stupid body effigy thing. But yeah, no, I really believe that it's fake. And they used his real body here. Because if we look at the beginning of the game, if you believe that Mikla doesn't grow, or like Nossel says, Mikla doesn't grow, he's always a child forever. Right? then this humongous giant body cannot be Mikla. And if this can't be a grown Mikla, then it's Godwin. Because if we start a new game, right? If we start a new character, and we look at the slideshow, we can see that Mogue. We can see that Mogue is carrying Mikla in his arms. And when we see this Mogue here kiss this cadaver, the cadaver's hand is bigger than Mogue's body, Mogue's head. We'll just start a rando character here. Blub. Rattle says, so if you strike body poo's tail and it's dust, you smack a dragon and it's not blood, could that mean it's a dragon's tail? Interesting. Maybe we'll have we'll go look at it. We'll go look at it here in a bit. Nosso says, I always felt like Marika Radagon looks stony, but so do the two fingers in the Divine Towers, which rather are supposed to be birchwood, I'd say. Boss was right all along. Life turns into stone. Boss could be right. Farrell says, I honestly like your theory about it being Mogue's body. Godwin's body. Oh, Queen Marika. I missed thee. So either at this point, this representation of Godwin is a lie. Perhaps. That's one theory I have. There's the liar, Ronnie. We can't trust her. An interesting scene here. Margit with Radon. And here we go. Here's the scene. Look at this tiny Mikla. And that's it. That's all. There is the maiden we killed. Now that we've been washed clean by our sins by Velka. But that's another story for another day. Well, there's a video about it. All right, let's get back to the Golden Inquisitor. Your pharaohs. We got to delete. That's a German word. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's German. Or Finnish. Your pharaoh says, let's see. Zinod says, it's like a detective story. A whodunit, Clue Jr., but we're missing a body to prove our case. We are. And this is what makes Elden Ring so fascinating and good at the same time. Infuriating and great at the same time. Because we don't know who murdered who. If we could just get a body. Because if you look at, I don't want to say it out loud. Because he's really famous. If you look at Bonfire VN, not VPN, VN, Bonfire VN, he has a video, I believe, I think it was him, years ago, where he takes his camera and he pulls the body out of this. And it is a man, a grown man, an oldish looking cadaver man type thing with a broken arm, like it's been held up in an awkward position and stabbed. Oh God. Oh God. But I'll leave that to y'all and to Bonfire VN because he's a pillar of the community. And I suggest everybody go watch his stuff because it's really good and great. He's doing America's work. the Elden Lord's work. Zanod says, and isn't Fortisax the dragon in the helmet? Oh, and isn't Fortisax the dragon on the helmet? So you believe that Fortisax the dragon is on the banished helm or the malformed dragon helm? You know what? If either one of those, I had never considered that. But I would say no, yes, maybe. A big maybe on that. The only reason I say maybe is that we see that these dragon depictions only have two wings. So that tells me drakes. Right? And if we look at and I don't know, Zanod, if you were here when I explained the reason why this dragon looks the way it does. But once again, if this is a real dragon, I would say Drake or some type of chimera, as Rattle Boyal would say. What is that damn ring? I feel like it screams at us. The ring, that is Godwin's ring. Oh, let's look at it. Nossel says, isn't he just supposed to look drained of blood, like semi-mummified? That could possibly well be. But there's no real way to tell who this cadaver is. And this ring here that we see, it is something. Maybe Bonfire Vian has it on his video. I don't remember. If the essence of Mikla left the body, but the body is kept alive because of Moog's blood and no death, maybe the body kept growing. There's a lot of gymnastics there, but probably that's quite possible as well. You can never rule out anything, and that's the frustrating part. You can never rule out anything that makes some sense, right? Ronan can tell you whose hip bone that is. Interesting. So like Ronan, he thinks that he figured it out. A hip bone. Okay. Next time I see like Ronan, I will inquire upon this bone. Where is Mikla's body? Where is Mikla's body? Zanod. Zanod. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm just going to keep saying it. Zanod. Mikla's body is all over the lands between that he's ripped off of himself and put on the ground. He just leaves it. You find his arm over here, his right arm, left arm over here, and all these things. And then when he walks out of the gate of divinity, not only does he have a new body, but he also has his soul. He's kind of like Ronnie. His body is being puppeted by a spirit, kind of like Rena. Hint. And Inikapu asks, whose hip bone is that, boss? I'm curious too. Let us all channel Light Ronin into the chat. Light Ronin, get off work. 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 We'll see if he shows up. He's got 40 minutes. Zanon said, "That's true. You are in the team of pronouncing my name right." Oh, thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, it's funny because I got your name right, but Ananekapu, I have to like consciously make an effort to remember to try to say it correctly. Nostel says, "Well, it's weird humanoid pelvic bone, quite artificial, but rather female than male." Yeah, it's definitely female, I believe. I think maybe. Ananikapu says, "Golden Inquisitor, can you explain your drip choice?" And I still say it wrong. Ah, it's because I'm a tard. Okay, yes, I can explain. All right, so let me get over here to the light because I don't want to say this out loud, so I'm gonna ASMR this part right here. Why I chose this is because I like RP. So number one reason, the reason I chose the Fire Knight, because my favorite color is red. I love red; it's my favorite color. Uh, the reason I chose the Crucible Gauntlets is because they have the 2% increase in Crucible spells, and Crucible spells are my favorite. Um, the reason I chose Blythe's Greaves is because I think they matched the best with the silver on the Fire Knight chest piece. And the reason I chose the Hoslow helm is because when you look at it from this direction, it's very demonic, intimidating. And from this direction too. It only looks really stupid if you look at it straight on. Then it just looks dumb. But I like the cape because I like the way it flows, especially when you're riding torrent. And especially look, I'll show you my favorite place to to look at the cape as it flows in the air. I'll show you. But the entire thing is because in my imagination, the Golden Inquisitor, whose real name is Zartan, right? He was a confessor of the Church of the Two Fingers from outside the lands between. And when he came to when he was resurrected by grace and came to the lands between, right? And he finally made it to the Round Table Hold, right? When he finally got here and he thought he was doing good. He's all good and stuff. He's like, "Oh yeah, I love the church." And then he opened up these doors and like myself, and so I imagine like myself that this happened to him because when I first saw these two fingers here, I was disturbed. It was like a cosmic horror by H.P. Lovecraft brought to life. And it disturbed me like internally and mentally. And I had like a streak of fear almost in my mind. And I imagined that him coming from the outside the lands between, working for the Church of the Two Fingers, being a confessor, he always imagined, and people outside the lands between always probably imagined that the Two Fingers was a spiritual representation or of something else, right? That they weren't actually these monstrosities, these creatures that bleed, that have flesh, that have hair, that move. You know, it's just these monsters. And when he saw that, when he, gameplay wise, you got to go in, but lore wise, in his lore, he saw that and feared and left, and he turned away from his religion. He turned away from the Church of the Two Fingers, and thus he started the Golden Inquisition to root out the truth among the lies of the church. Because if these monsters were leading the church that he had given himself to in his former life and in this past life, then there was probably more lies, more things that were hiding in the darkness behind closed doors, and thus he began the Golden Inquisition, and he gave up his name, and he's only known as the Golden Inquisitor and stuff like that. And that's the story. But let's go back. Let me show you where I like to ride with the cape. And then Ekapoo. I like the lore behind the drip. Very cool, strong. Or thank you. I appreciate it. Boss says, when figures die, they turn into wood plants. Face reveal. You want a face reveal? You want a face reveal? Fine. I'll give you a face reveal. There. Wasn't that great? 6'7". And Nikaboo says he has no face. It's a mass of fear from after he saw the two fingers are hidden fingers, are indeed fingers. Blah. Right, because from what the Golden Inquisitor believes, right, if he ever dies and somebody picks it up, it doesn't matter who he is underneath. The next person will become the Golden Inquisitor. And the next person after that, and so on and so forth. Until the truth is finally revealed. It's kind of like, when Bungie first made Halo and they were telling everybody that the reason they never show Master Chief's face is so everybody can be Master Chief, can imagine themselves underneath that helmet. Exactly the reason for this. The reason why he has this full mask. Anyways, all right, let me show you this. All right, this is what I love right here. Just boom. Just like that. That's so what's that word that people say? It's so calming to hear the torrent's hooves and just to see the red flowing. There you go. I love it. I'm such a sap sometimes. I know, but okay, whatever. Moving on. Let's see. Nostel calls me a monster. He says, "You monster" in German. Your Pharaoh says, "Behind the mask, there is another mask." That's right. Redo says, "Sunglasses under sunglasses." That is correct. Nostel says, "I was ready to give my heart away, yet you keep her hidden." Keep who hidden? Bruh. Golden Inquisitor is a man. I'm sorry. That's as much face reveal you're gonna get. Those pecs, those washboard abs, just like in real life. Your Pharaoh says, if anybody uses the Inquisitor's armor, the Inquisitor's soul will take control of the body. Oh, that's interesting. But lore wise, I would hate that for him. If he ever dies, I would want him to rest peacefully in whatever afterlife he finds himself in. I would hate for him to be like Roshaska or who's the other one? Bale, always somewhere in between life and death. Calistral says, or asks, still playing the face reveal card? I am, Callie. I am. Nozzle says the shadow tree looks fine. The shadow tree looks fine to me. I don't know why so many claim it's broken or sick, except the sap leaking. But why had excuse me? But 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 we had that already in the age of plenty. You know what? Nozzle, you're true. That is a true statement. The reason I would people would probably suspect that there's something wrong with it is probably because I mean, I don't think all of that is sap. And because the sap is gold, right? All of that's falling off. I don't know. And it's dark and it's sickly looking. I mean, when you look at the Erd tree and it's golden and bright and you know, it makes you feel like having a holly jolly day with Mary, uh, because Mary's the one that we love. And then you look at this and you're like, something's wrong with it, right? It looks very anaerobic. Rattle says, it's a favor to everyone. I don't face reveal. Thank you, Rattle. I appreciate it. Calistral says, psst. Annie Nekapoo says, same. Calistral says, I've seen Not That Bad Fella. Not That Bad Fella. No, you've seen The Prince of Cats. Ah. The Knot says, well, it's interesting, but I still love whoever is running around PvP with Ninja Turtle characters. Oh, really? I've never seen that. Is it on PC or on a console? Let me know. I would love to if it is because you know there's that PC player or that console player that does Sauron. I've tried to get invaded by him, but man, I can't seem to get invaded by him. Damn. Bump bump bump. The beauty of the grotesque. This reminds me of a Nine Inch Nails music video. All right, let's see. This is too big for this area. What weapon shall we roll with this evening as the last 30 minutes? Miklas sword does 1195 here. This is 1321. Dang, that well, you know we're just gonna do that 1321. Dang, that's a mean sword. The broadsword, my baby, never let me down. Nussel says, considering the environment, it looks fine to me, just like a tree in the winter. Oh, a fair statement, Nussel. A fair statement. Boss says, the question is, does the Golden Inquisitor know the Water Sage? Of course, of course. The waters. If you mean that old jolly guy who wears the blue cape, then yes, probably. Even though blue offends him, because red is best. Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. The one last thing, a lore reason why it's all like a mixed up, besides like the reason. Well, never mind. I was just gonna say the another reason that I've thought about the reason why it's all mixed up armors and stuff like that is because when he gave up being a confessor, right? He threw away all his confessor gear, and he just picked up the armors from around the lands between, you know, just laying on the ground, people dead, find them dead, and just wears them. But I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Boop. Got him. Wrong, guys. What? You're gonna hit me in the back. On Xbox, dang. Oh, dang, that's not a piano? I always thought that was a piano. Never mind. So here we go. So these wandering nobles here, this wandering noble, he's from the lands between. He was taking these notes. So I know people have always suspected that they were hoarding this information here for later, but I really think they were translating it, and only because of the notes, right? Because this writing here that we see, that's the same script that we see in the lands between. Oh, geez. Come. Yes. Didn't break it. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. Nope, never mind. So I think they were translating these tiles, not tiles, but these tablets. Trying to find, I don't know, save the information, which I think is a great thing. It adds a lot of lore or a lot of world building, in my opinion, to the world, right? They're just not willy-nilly destroying things and not like in real life. They were smart enough to preserve it. So this is a good spot because here we see three different scripts, right? We see the Farfuk runes or whatever they're called, and we see those, and then we see this I don't know, what is that? I would say hieroglyphs or whatever. Yeah, I would say the hieroglyphs. Hold on, let me throw this on here because they almost look like little animals and stuff. Yeah, it's like hieroglyphs. Look, because it's like a little snake person there on the end right here. Little snake person and stuff. So they're translating everything to the hieroglyphs, to the runes, or whatever this rune language is, runic. And then they have like the English. So what is the newest language? Probably this paper stuff. That's probably the newest ones. But yes, I would say that's probably the newer ones. Really old, super old, and modern. But then again, you could always come back and say, "Hey, that's just reuse graphics and stuff like that." But you know, assets from another game or assets that they bought in bulk. True. But man, I don't like to think that. I almost believe, and I've said it before, that there is the invention of the printing press is in the lands between in this world, simply because of that writing, because of all this of these pages of these books is too uniform to be handwritten and copied over and over, especially the columns. And that's a hill that I would die on. Boss says, decipher the way of water. I would have to watch a couple of Bruce Lee videos, but I think I can do it. You must be fluid like water. I think they're transcribing the tablets into the scrolls cuneiform. I don't know what that word means, man. You're using like your big school words, man. If you just talk normal, I can understand what you say, bro. Monks transcribe books by hand in real life, so it's possible that they were done by hand, but they are advanced enough to have a printing press. Yeah. I agree. Oh, I know. That's how ancient scripts and stuff like that were all copied by hand and stuff. Um, and I know the limitations of a video game, and because these same pieces of paper we find them in the lands between, especially in the Inquisitor's chamber where we find the Blade of Calling. These papers are sprung, flared about, whatever, dashed about, whatever. They're there too. So I understand they just can't make every single piece of paper uniform, but it is fun, in my opinion, to think that there is a printing press. Oh, oh God, he got me on the way down. Man, uppercutted me right in my chin. In my chin. All right, let's see. Let's. What time is it? All right. You know what? Let's get to Bonnie Village. We can get there and then we'll call it a night, I think. It'll be just in time. Ah, the beauty. The beauty. Man, I should have made some coffee. I am parched. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. Can I do this the first try again? Wait. There. Yep. Once again. Whoa, they hit hard. Gathered together. Ladies gathered together. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now here's a question. What happened to all the water in the well? Where'd it go? That that just boggles my mind. Oh, made it to Bonnie Village in 3 minutes. Dang, faster than I expected. All right, well, let's get to Emir then. Oh, the land that time forgot. Jackal just got back from D&D. That's what he missed. Man, you missed a lot. Today's episode was fantastical. Man, we got all the way to Godwin. And then we talked about Godwin. I what's the word? I stated a theory that the Godwin effigy or cadaver, if you want to use that word, in Deep Root Depths isn't Godwin actually, and that the real body of Godwin is inside the cocoon in Moog's palace, and that Mikla used the empty body of Godwin with the power of Moog to transport himself into or open up a gateway, the body being the gateway to the Shadowlands. And let me just tell you, uh, Rattle and Boss did not like that theory. I'm afraid not. It was too much truth. Your Pharaoh says, Godwin the dragon. Oh, that's right. Joy Toy, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Jacko says, isn't Godwin's body at the roots of the Earth Tree though? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That thing. I had showed a piece of evidence. Well, two pieces of evidence. Well, one piece of evidence actually. One piece of evidence showing that it was not actually Godwin. That it wasn't actually a cadaver. I would say that. And then we discussed the effects of time, I guess, on a cadaver. If a cadaver could petrify itself into stone, but I was on my part of the debate, I was saying that a cadaver that is near moisture or water as it is wouldn't ever turn into stone, but gel and liquefy and turn into a mush. Kind of like a raccoon that you find in a stream or something. It was a good conversation. I enjoyed it. Oh, I need to start picking these up. Even though I hardly ever respect larval tear. Soul mimics. A soul mimic. Let's examine this. Says your pharaohs. He says soul mimic. I have 14 of these. Jesus. An exceptionally rare creature. A creature that burgeons from spirit graves and lives only a fleeting existence. Neither flesh nor spirit, but something in between. Being born anew allows the reality. The rest is gameplay stuff. Neither flesh nor spirit, but something in between. That's interesting. I think that is the larval tier. There is an allusion, not illusion, allusion to what the tarnish are. Since we can die and resurrect at graces and die again. Or an allegory. Or maybe we are an allegory for the larval tier. Where are the silver tiers? Larval tier, larval tier. Oh. They're both called the same thing. Let's see what the silver one is called. A core of a creature of mimicry known as a silver tier. As much a substance as it is a living organism. As much a substance. So it's equally alive and equally something else. Perhaps when the Nox were making these, right? Or developing these, their inspiration were these larval tiers. And perhaps since the Land of Shadow was cast away, hidden away, that's why they developed their own. Perhaps. Cathedral of Menace Matir. Zanod says, I can't talk. True petrification. I can't say it. Petrification. Complete mineral replacement of soft tissue requires millions of years. Millions of years. Yep. What was that all about? Did y'all see that? Did the moon just move?
Well, we don't often receive visitors. I am Emir. Welcome to Manus Meta. It is a pleasure to have you. In lands so forsaken as these, chance encounters are precious indeed. Seeing that we have convened here on this day, allow me to mark the occasion with a modest offering.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The map I gave you, it is said that after sounding the hanging bell there, one's fate will be guided by the stars. I only wish to be of service, to help those who fight for their purpose. I'm not mistaken, am I? I can see it in your eyes. You are a fighter, are you not? Is something I've given you a map to the hallowed ruin? Oh, I suppose you expect a lesson of me, do you? I know the feeling. Those with purpose are nothing if not ravenous for power.
Oh, there's 5 fingers up there.
I am a glintstone sorcerer. We study the stars and examine the life therein.
Are you familiar with our findings? Long ago, we began as stardust, born of a great rupture far across the skies. We, too, are children of the greater will. Is that not divine? Is that not sublime? And yet, none can fathom its implications. Its utter brilliance. Oh, yes. Do mind your feet around the church. You wouldn't want to hurt the little boy.
Nope, can't kill him. Well, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another Wednesday night. No, today's Tuesday. Today's actually Tuesday. Another Tuesday night of lore, discussion, crafting, theorizing. I closed my eyes just for a moment, and 2 hours passed by. Well, we're going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you wish to continue the discussion, please consider joining. Blah. I got real bad cotton mouth. I'm really thirsty. Consider joining the Discord. A link will be in the show description. Blah. Your Pharaohs is simping for Jorlan. Good night, Naso. Good night, Jackal. Good night, everybody. Good night, Joy Toy. Make sure you follow everybody that I said to follow. Please go give them some love at the beginning of the episode. And we'll run through it real quick. Not Godwin, Sirius Moonlight, Jackal Khan, Sunset Jackal, Anna Nikapu. Let's see. Inquisition Radio Live. Let's see what else. Who else? Jack is a Mimic. Metafactual. Go check them out. Let's see who else. Spiral Unity. Check them out. Boss Saucer on TikTok. And yeah. Check everybody out. It's a new wave has started. Take it easy, y'all. Be safe. And I'll see y'all. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? I'll see y'all tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow. Be safe.